Welcome back to Why Me, Why Not Me, where we share stories of strength, self discovery, and the messy beauty of becoming. Today's guest is someone who truly embodies the balance between science and soul. She's a mom, an entrepreneur, an animal lover, and someone who's brave enough to admit that she's still figuring it all out. Please welcome Dr. Aradhna Juneja.
Thank you, Anu.
Thank you so much for being on the show, and I'm so excited and happy. I know we've had back and forth conversations about this, and I'm so happy that you agreed to come onto this podcast and share your story. I know a little bit about what you've told me, but I can't wait to dig deeper into it and share it with whoever listens to us. And I'm very excited that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. Honestly, it's been nice talking about it for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And our episodes. So super excited.
And through those conversations, I mean, we spoke a lot about my life, about your life, and then, I mean, we met each other at the years back at the gym, and then a lot has happened since then. And then we reconnected and we realized that we haven't really had this conversation, and that's when I realized, it would be perfect to come onto this show.
I know. I just realized that we know each other for so many years, but we
never
worked
had a
out together, but we didn't really talk about our life, our experiences, what you're going through, what I do, what I'm going through. So it was funny how we reconnected and
over a lot of voice notes to each other.
So many of them. Oh my God. I was like, I'm sending her podcasts. Now we're on one.
I know, exactly. But I'm glad we got here. Okay, so let's start right at the beginning, right? Who Aradhna was when she was a child, or what is the world that that you realize growing up in, and the moments in your life during your childhood that made you who you are today?
So growing up, it was a nice childhood, and both my parents are doctors, medical doctors, and so I grew up with both of them really busy with patients and life and work. And so my mom used to take me to her clinical hours, her consultation rooms when the patients weren't there. I was just like playing, coloring. I had no idea. And, she'd take care of her patients in a separate room. And then sometimes she'd leave me with some of the nurses in their room, in their break room. So I was so comfortable growing up as a kid in a clinic or a hospital. And then I grew up to realize most people aren't. Like they don't like being in hospitals or clinics or in that environment, the hospital lights and white coats and things like that. But I was super comfortable, grew up there. And so that was, a part of my childhood. And then the rest of it was obviously school and the regular stuff that kids do. And then every summer, because, my parents were both busy, they used to drop me to my grandparents. And they live in India. So pretty much, it was such a slow life there, a different kind of environment, just in their house with my grandparents that are quite old. So it was very slow. And then anything that went wrong, it would be like, okay, you scraped your knee, so put some turmeric on it, or you have a sore throat. There are 10 things that go in this concoction, and it tastes really bad, but it helps.
It helps,
And so it was interesting because at home, we'd use some of it, but then my mom's like, here's like these medications. And then with my grandparents, it was like all very natural. But also obviously if we needed, we would get medications. So I kind of grew up with both of those worlds being meshed together really well. And my grandparents were super proud that, everyone in the house is a doctor, but then they'd be like, no, you don't need medications. It's like, we used to do this when we grew up. So it was a good like balance of both worlds. And so that's how I grew up. That was my childhood. And I think growing up as an adult, I realized that both of those worlds usually are far away from each other. Like if I would go to a doctor, they'd be like, no, this stuff doesn't work. Here's like 10 medications, like antibiotics, like right away.
Exactly.
And overprescription and all of that. And then, if you go to somebody else who they're scared to go to doctors. They're like, I don't want to see a doctor. It'll be the last resort. And they feel like they're
unless
out to
something
get
really wrong.
And they're like, they're out to get us, like, like a surgery is not needed, but they're pushing me for it. And it would be like a lot of fear mongering on each side, which I wasn't used to because,
You grew up in that
you
world.
grew up in both the worlds, like meshing really well. So, I mean, that inspired me a little bit to obviously come up with my own brand,
Okay.
which took those worlds of Ayurvedic medicine and, science-backed research and ingredients to create Palma. So, yeah, that's how
Yeah.
I converted that story into something else.
That's amazing.
Now. So,
that is really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go deeper into your
Yeah.
brand soon. But fast forwarding it to now, if somebody that you knew from a long time ago, you ran to them at a coffee shop, what would you say about yourself and who you are and what you do
Yeah.
personally and professionally?
Yeah. Yeah. So, personally, I would say I'm a mom, I'm a doctor. I mean, I guess that's professionally too, but I'm an animal lover. I love coffee as well. So,
Coffee shop sounds
yeah,
perfect.
flat whites are the best. But yeah, so that's what I would kind of describe myself on the personal level. Professionally, I would say I'm a doctor and an entrepreneur. And both of those things are important to me. And being a mom, I mean, I'm a new mom. It's been a year and a half now. So it's been quite a wild ride. And it's one of the hardest things you can do, but also one of the easiest things you can do because it's like, you have so much love for this person.
Yes.
And then you have another baby of yours, which is your own business. And that way I'm a mom of my own business, I guess, because you make products and you put it out in the world. And then I'm a dog mom where, I had a couple of dogs. One passed away and I have one now, and I have a bird, an African gray that I rescued. And I love like animal rescue, animal work. So yeah, that's a little bit on those fronts.
Where you are today.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So somebody once asked me this question and I could not answer that question. So I'm gonna try it with you. If your life was a book, what chapter is your life at right now?
Yeah.
Like for me, I couldn't answer that question. I don't know if I was mid chapter or have I even started writing my book. Like I'm 40 now, and I don't. Sometimes I feel like I've probably reached the last few chapters, or maybe I'm somewhere in between, because I do a lot of things, but I could not really answer that question. But do you know where you are in your book?
Yeah. First of all, I feel like at this point it's like it's a, I don't know, novel
It's just
or
becoming
whatever. It's becoming bigger and bigger. I'm like, how is life so
I'm
complicated?
going to add some more chapters
honestly.
in between.
And yeah, I think the current chapter is chaos and a little bit of everything everywhere. Mushed together. I don't even know what I'd call this chapter. It's just like, I would say I'm a chapter of chaos and at the same time a little bit of clarity, but then it's chaos. So it kind of mixes.
It's yet to unravel.
Unravel. Yes. Exactly. Maybe that's what it should be called, unraveling or something.
Oh, there you go. We've got a title for your book as well.
There you go. The Unraveling.
The Unravel, exactly.
But yeah, so I would say the chapter is about chaos and juggling a couple of things at the same time. I mean, my being a mom and having a full-time business and having pets and like doing everything for the house is super hard. I'm mainly parent on my own on most days, so it's hard to do everything perfectly. I feel like, and as much as you try, you can't. So it's the chapter is trying to do the best I can as well, trying to do the best I can at work and personally, and trying to also give my dogs attention and just kind of keep everyone happy. And trying to also prioritize myself in a way, which is hard to do because some days you're just like caught up with so much.
You can't navigate through.
You can't. No. And then the way I work is like my brain stores a lot of it. And I'm now starting to write things down and be more organized, but I get overwhelmed really easily. So the juggling kind of, you have to kind of,
I know what you mean.
right? You have to wait for like a little bit and be like, okay, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
And so I think most people now, they just have to juggle. It's like, I feel like that's a lot of people's chapters these days.
Yeah. I mean, like most of the guests I've had on the show as well, all of them speak about the same thing, about having to juggle.
Yeah.
Like I find myself as well sitting on the bed making a list. And because that list, your brain is not switched off, like at all.
Yeah.
And you sometimes get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I completely get what you mean.
Yeah. It's like, for me, I get a lot of anxiety when things are everywhere. And then that gets in the way of actually doing anything.
Doing it, yeah.
And then you're just like, okay, well, what was the point of stressing out and overthinking?
Let's figure it out.
Let's do at least the one thing that you wanted to do and then be happy you did it. And so, yeah, I mean, so the chapter is juggling.
Yes.
I think. And just
perfect. Okay.
trying to make it.
That's where you are right now. Let's, so, there are moments in our life, either one moment or it could be a series of moments, that becomes a turning point in our life, right?
Yeah.
Was there a moment in your life where there was a pivot or a turning moment that defines where you are right now?
Yeah, for sure. I think in the last 2 to 3 years, there have been a lot of losses and gains. And I think it happened so quickly together that my mental health caught up after that. And I feel like we go through things and suppress things and keep going and, juggle and suppress and don't really care about how you're feeling and the next thing and the next thing. And then one day it all just comes out of somewhere. And then you're like, oh my God, I didn't even process any of these things happening to me. So I think initially I had a miscarriage about, I think now it's been 3 years. So it was the first time, I got pregnant and I was like, okay, great. This is happening. Initially, I was a bit in shock and I'm like, how am I going to manage life and having a child? So it was very like, it wasn't the usual reaction that people have, I think. I also had a weird reaction to it. And then after the miscarriage, I, was very sad, obviously, and your body goes through something and your mind goes through something, and then there's society saying something, and then there's expectations of why this even happened.
Yeah.
And I realized at the time that there's so many myths and misconceptions about miscarriages and just women's health and what happens and why things happen. And I was going through a loss and then explaining myself to people, not myself, but the situation.
Yes.
And especially in our culture, sometimes people just like, maybe you can relate to people like, you just went to the gym and it must have happened in the gym. And I'm like, seriously, no, first of all. But it was just like over explaining things to people. And I'm like, no, women actually need to work out when they're pregnant or when you have an injury. You can't be sitting in your bed. That's not the right way, but okay. And so I just felt like I was explaining myself to people rather than processing my own feelings and the loss and the grief. And
you went through that and you're trying to justify it to somebody else because I think in some way you don't want them to like hurt you even more by judging you.
Yeah.
Because you on some level probably blame yourself, but and it sort of makes you feel better trying to justify it to others to make them feel better when you're not being able to listen to what you're going through, right? And that's hard.
Yeah. And even knowing this, and again, is the two worlds. It's like even knowing the scientific reason, the exact reason for why it happened, I feel like I was still explaining things. And people would be like, oh, it's energy because you weren't happy right away. Again, there's this expectation of the minute you're pregnant or the minute, you have to be the happiest person. You can't even like think and be like, oh my God, my life's going to change. Have your mood swings, which you have the first trimester up and down. You can't feel anything. No. And because you felt ungrateful, now there's a miscarriage and that's what you wanted. And I'm like, this is actually like...
That's horrible.
It's horrible because you're just like, I am, bleeding and mentally bleeding, physically like going through it. And then here I am trying to... Explain and make sense of it to you, which you have nothing to do with it. So I didn't process at the time. I was just going through the motions. And I felt like I needed to explain, I needed to justify, I needed to understand. And I took people's like criticism of things really seriously. I blamed myself obviously to an extent, and
Like we all do.
I think are just been
Blaming
raised
ourselves
to
is something that is
we've been
inbuilt
raised to blame ourselves. I don't
for
know why.
everything.
If someone else falls, we blame ourselves.
Like, oh, I'm so sorry you fell.
Why
You
am
were
I saying
10
sorry?
meters away.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that happened, and then basically, I think after a while, yes, I got pregnant again. It was all good. And at the same time, between those episodes, I was my first dog, my first pet, Kobe. He was going through a kidney issue, and initially, I didn't know that because he's always a bit sick on and off since I had him. And I realized soon enough, like one of his kidneys wasn't working, and then once that happens with dogs, it's like super serious. And realized in Dubai that they didn't have a lot of they don't have a dialysis unit here. They don't have proper like care, and a lot of countries don't. They just have the one or two doctors or locations
I
that can do
actually
it.
heard that just yesterday. I was having this conversation with someone whose dog passed away from cancer.
Yeah.
But they had to send it for biopsy outside the country
Yeah.
because they don't have that here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard that just yesterday.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised. I was like, for how central we are in animal care, there weren't many options. They're like, well, you could go to the US. I'm like, well, how can I do that?
Yeah.
That's hard to do. I'm fully pregnant with my dog. I'm gonna go live in the US for his dialysis treatments. That doesn't make sense. So yeah, I was very surprised to learn that it's kind of capped here. So basically, I was, dealing with he would have, he would vomit, he would have like diarrhea, things like that. And like, I'm dealing with that, cleaning that up, trying to make him feel better, taking him to the vet all the time, odd hours of the night. Sometimes it'd be like 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 3 a.m.
This was when you were pregnant the second time.
Yeah, I was fully pregnant and I was doing this, and then my mom was like, "What are you doing? Are you okay?" Like,
And you're also consciously trying not to be stressful because of what you went through.
But I used to cry all the time, and everybody was like, I'm worried about you. But I'm like, how can I not be upset that my dog is going through this? And he was like my first ever companion that stayed with me, and it's like very sentimental because my parents were very busy when I was growing up, so I didn't have their constant presence in life. And I felt like with Kobe, it was the first time I had constant presence
in your life. Yeah.
And so he was like, best friend, first pet, everything. And then he was dying, and I was very upset, obviously, about the thing. And there'd be people who would say, well, you should put him down. And I was like, how can I even think of that? Like, that's my child. How do I do that?
Yeah.
And so going through that was hard. And if you remember the floods.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yes. So there was the day it started, I took him to the vet because I needed him to get this test or this injection. I don't remember what it was, and get some medication that I had to go to a point where this was unsafe. I don't know how many months, but I was big. I had to go up the stairs because the elevator stopped working with my dog upstairs to the house. And I'm like, okay, we made it. We made it out of the rain. But then obviously it got worse. I didn't realize how bad it would get because I think in the morning or afternoon it was okay. And then after that it was just insane. So I remember that day. And then at that point I fell and I couldn't get to the hospital. But then I had my dog, and then I had to run back from the hospital in the morning because I was so worried about him. So I was going through that all by myself, trying to keep him in mind. And the doctor's like, you need to stay overnight at the hospital because first of all, how are you going to go back home? And then it's probably safer for you to be here if anything happens, just because you fell because of the water and stuff. It wasn't such a big fall, but it was just, they were trying to screen. And I was more worried about him. I was like, I can't leave him alone. I have to go home. Like, I have to feed him. What if he's vomited? What if?
Yeah.
So I can't believe I went through that. And then 3 weeks before I gave birth, he wasn't eating anything and he was vomiting, and it just was so bad that the vet's like, well, there's no medication we can give him anymore. So it was like, okay, we're done with the medications. I had to, make the decision to have the vet come in my house and put him down, which I thought was the most comfortable rather than doing it in the clinic. So I went through that, which was, I think, traumatic. And then 3 weeks later, everybody's like, okay, now you can make space for your baby. Which, as if you cannot do those two things in parallel. And I was like, here we go again.
Wait, okay,
But
people.
And then 3 weeks later, I gave birth, but I hadn't processed the death of Kobe yet, and I hadn't even processed had a baby. I was just going through these episodes, and I don't know, I'm like, now I have a baby. Like, how did I get here? So I think after that, obviously hormonally, there's so many swings. You're on this high and then you crash after you give birth. And so I think all of it just hit me together. And I never experienced this much anxiety in my life. Of course. And I did not sleep for months straight, I think. My mom would come in, or my parents, or anyone would come in. Like, we never see you sleeping when he's sleeping. We never see you sleeping at night. We don't see you sleeping in the morning. When do you sleep?
Yeah.
I wasn't sleeping. It was the amount of anxiety was, I can't even imagine. Yeah. Like, I mean, I went through, but I can't imagine going through the same thing now. And I had a C-section, so it was recovery of the body.
Yeah, that's also, yeah.
And so I think going through that, not sleeping for a month, and then having this overwhelming feeling of sadness every time I would, like, people would be like, here, hold him, he's your baby, breastfeed, do this thing. I just didn't feel connected, and I just felt like I miss my dog still, which is maybe it's not the right thing to say, but I'm saying it. So I was like,
you didn't process. I mean, I know when people say your dog, your child, but I mean, your dog was your baby.
Yeah.
He was a baby. He was a part of your life. He was family.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hadn't processed it. So I mean, I'll get to it why I was feeling like this, but I had an overwhelming feeling of just being disconnected, disjointed. And a lot of people that have, like my friends who have had babies, they're like, oh, it's great. We just cuddle, we just watch Netflix, we pump and everything's good. And of course, like, it's hard, but it's fine. Just haven't slept. And for me, first of all, I haven't slept. I'm dying out here. What Netflix show are you watching? Because I cannot, when I'm pumping or breastfeeding, I cannot watch anything because I'm dying. Like the pain of everything. I don't know how people are watching Netflix and chilling while doing any of that. I have no idea. Till today, I'm like, how does anyone do that? When they show like the Instagram videos, you're in your pajamas cuddling and it's all wrong. At least for me, it was all wrong.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, what's wrong with me? Like, am I a broken mom? Am I a broken female? Am I a broken, what's going on here?
That is a conversation I want to get to as well, what we see on Instagram. But I know.
Right?
Yes. I mean, what you see out there, like my best friend, whose baby just turned 1 in October, last year, she was, I saw her go through it while she was pumping her as well. She was in pain. Mm-hmm. She was in utter pain as well. I mean, even I used to be sitting with her while she was pumping, and like I don't know how she actually. Sometimes she just has a conversation. I think she at some point got used to it. I think, but in the beginning it was.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
I never got used to it. I don't even know. And everyone around me was like, "Oh yeah, I did it." And I had a friend who went through pregnancy around the same time, and she was breastfeeding. She's like, "This is the best. This is fine. I can work with it." I'm like, "How? How are you doing any of this?" Yeah. So I felt broken as a person because I was like, I'm failing at everything.
Yeah.
And this is the worst. And to a point where this sensation kept coming back that I need to escape. I'm like, I need to escape. I need to be out of the house. Mm-hmm. I was at my parents' house at the time because for a few weeks, and I felt my whole routine was taken away from me. Yeah. I didn't have autonomy over my time. Yeah. I didn't sleep. Mm-hmm. I used to be able to go out for coffee, be able to go out for to see anyone, to work from somewhere, and then suddenly I had to be in the house, tied to a child, recovering. People are like, well, don't walk around too much. Don't, I'm lucky, like my parents are doctors, but they were like, yeah, no, do this and that, and it's fine. But I wanted to escape the house. I didn't want to come back. That was what I felt was very weird.
Yeah.
So I pretty much was trying to escape, like just for coffees, or if it was my friend's birthday. My friend's like, "What are you doing in my house?" Like, this was 1 week after I gave birth. She's like, "Shouldn't you be at home resting?" Like, she didn't even expect me to come. And I was like, "No, I'm here. I need to leave. Like, I need to get out."
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just need a change of pace of whatever is going on. And sometimes you just need a different scenario.
Yeah, but I just was, I don't think it didn't feel right. I felt sad coming back home to my baby. And I just felt like, this is not my life. This is not who I was meant to be. I messed up. I ruined my life. Oh my God. I can't return this thing. I'm done. This is it. And I was just this sense of like, I've destroyed my entire life. And I never heard this around me. Everybody else was just so grateful and everything was great. So I was just like, something's not right. And the anxiety was through the roof. So I went to a friend of mine who's a therapist, and I asked her for a referral to psychiatrist. And then I went to my therapist that I, usually, have therapy once in a while. And she's like, "Yeah, you have a textbook case of postpartum depression."
Yeah.
And
I was about to say.
and then I'm like, okay, so I'm not insane. So because I was describing everything to her, and there's no judgment with your therapist. Like, you can say whatever you want. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah,
that
you're not going to
say.
look at you like,
Yeah,
are you crazy?
If you say, "Oh my God, I ruined my life. Why did I ever have?" Your therapist is not going to be like, "How dare you?" But you can't say that to anyone else.
Yeah.
And especially not because people nowadays have, problems having kids. So how do you say
Yes.
that you're not grateful?
Yeah.
So anyway, I got diagnosed. So there was clarity there. And, with the medications and with therapy, I think then I navigated through that. But I think it all came crashing down together.
Yes. Because you went through quite a bit back to back as well.
Yeah.
So big moments in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. And apart from all of this, you actually left a conventional career that you worked towards, and then went all into your business as well.
Yeah.
And that was not easy either, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How was that like for you?
So, I haven't been surrounded by entrepreneurs really. And, from a family that usually we have jobs, so it's all good. That's the path, right? And just very Indian of us. I'm a doctor. My brother is an engineer. Just the job.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's like the textbook thing.
Yes.
You can't waver from that. And basically, I was in a clinic here. I moved from Toronto to Dubai, and then I was in a clinic here. And I just wanted to change the system so bad, because I felt like, okay, like, we're in Canada, we do things this way. Like, what if we try to do this here? Did not work. Okay, yes. I don't own the clinic. I can't call the shots.
Yes.
I don't make the decisions. I found everything so backward in healthcare. I was just, not in healthcare, but in that particular setting. I was like, okay, but what about this and this? And then I realized, I can't do anything. So
unless you start something on your own.
Exactly. Yeah. And then that's what, when this idea of this brand and product came into existence around COVID, or a little bit after that, then I realized, okay, I can make the changes, but I have to give it the time that it needs. And also the main thing was investors that had invested. They wanted to see full-time, at least one or two co-founders on the project full-time, not distracted, because they are giving you their money.
Yes, exactly.
So I just finished my contract with one place, and I was like, okay, before I start the next, before I sign anything else, let me just spend time on this. And then I've still been here. So yeah, but I do miss, being in clinic and, seeing my patients and helping people and all of that. I still do it in terms of giving advice and all that. And maybe, hopefully I can do a few clinical hours down the road. But for now, this requires so much attention, time, and still people have an expectation that, you're not doing 5 things at once. You're focused on the one thing. Yeah. So it was hard because, obviously with your family, they're like, what are you doing? Like, are you okay? Why would you do this?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of explaining. Like, till today, I think my parents don't think this is
you made the right decision.
No,
Yeah.
Or they don't know. They're just like, oh, I haven't asked you in a while. And a while for them is a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But if it's a job, they'll be like, how was your job? How are your patients today? So they're so used to like a particular way
Yeah.
that they just black out when it comes to anything outside of that.
Yeah.
So
It's like you're torturing yourself. You had a great job that was paying you, and now
yeah,
you want to leave
now
all of that and do something.
why would you?
Yeah, why would you do that? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming back to what we discussed before, social media, right? A lot of people see our stories, our posts. We see a lot of stories and posts, but no one really knows the full story. I'm not saying what we post is wrong or it's fake. It's not. Sometimes we do post about what things that we believe in, or we see that from people as well, like you just mentioned earlier. But it's not the full story. Has there ever been a time where people have actually sort of misunderstood not misunderstood, I would say, perceived your journey as something but got it wrong? Has that happened to you?
Yeah, I think people see the brand now, or they see the bottle or the formula or anything now, and they're like, oh, this is really nice. But when I was going through the motions, didn't really see that part. And you don't really share that on social media.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Right? You're
It's a very difficult space to be in right now to talk about what you really, really feel.
Yeah. And you put a polished thing up on Instagram, but then I had a paper bottle at one point. It was made entirely out of paper with the dimensions, and now it's an actual product. And I remember, the conversations I had with the chemist, because I was the one formulating it, like trying to make a formulation with a chemist here in a lab. And the chemist was, it was during COVID, and obviously I was very restricted to the UAE at the time. So I was working with I tried other countries, it wasn't working. Then there was somebody who linked me to a chemist here in a lab. And he was just like, what are you doing here? Like, what is this garbage? Like, who's buying this? Who's gonna, like, what is this? Who's not gonna sell? Like, what are we doing here? Okay. And I'm like, it's okay, you're bored, it's COVID. Like, it's fine. Like, what else do you have to do,
what
right?
What else are you doing?
What else are you doing? So, that wasn't shared on social media, the back and forth with the person who does not believe in you.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't believe in you because they're like, what are you doing? What is this? And then you don't share the setback of, your bottles are stuck somewhere for 6 months, or the bottles have come all messed up. The color is not right. That can set you back by a year. And how long the production runs can take, and none of that was shared. And then also you see startups now, and their co-founders are like all lovey-dovey, and they're like, oh my God, we started this, a female co-founder, we started this, we love each other so much. And it wasn't like that in my team.
Yes. Yeah.
We hated our guts sometimes. And there was a time I'm like, I'm not working with her, because I wasn't used to working in a team. She was used to working a different way. We were speaking different languages, and we'd be at our throats sometimes. Because I'm like, I don't understand you. She's like, I don't understand you. And then we had to be mediated. It was a thing. But again, I wouldn't post that on social media and be like, oh my God, guys, today my bottles were stuck in the port. And the formula of this failed, and my co-founder hates me, and my investor was annoyed. So, and then cry. So we don't really share that. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So people don't know any of that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you stay, because my brand is, a lot of it is in the US. The marketing agency was in LA. There was a time where I was just staying on LA time in Dubai, which didn't make any sense.
Oh my God, that is like...
And my co-founder's like, I think we need to have a chat. Like, you can't do this. Like, this is not sustainable.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, it was just what you do, but you don't share any of it.
They don't see the backstory. They don't
see
see the struggles that happens with it. Sometimes when people see something that you've started, they're like, oh my God, this is an amazing idea. You're so lucky you did really well. I'm like,
lucky.
Like, it has nothing to do with luck. There's a whole process that went behind this. Sleepless nights, frustration, and wanting to quit every day.
Yeah. No, that's what it is. I don't think people realize how hard it is to execute things. Like, everyone can have an idea, but it's very hard
to make it
happen.
Yes.
And to stick to it.
Yes.
And to go through it even when it's boring.
Yes.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
And there's no dopamine hit from it.
Yeah. And then you question yourself, why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like going to the gym every day even, or
Yes.
you can do it for a few days, but not everyone makes it past a certain point because it's sometimes it gets boring and you're like, I don't want, but you,
Because it's consistency, right? Only if you do that, you'll progress. But then after 1 week, like, well, I'm not seeing a difference. I've been going every day.
forget it. Yeah. So it's a whole thing. We're just doing it every day, no matter if you're not getting happiness at. Sometimes you're not happy about it. And that's the other thing that people are like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I love my, yes, but not every day will be, you love it.
Yes. Some days are going to be frustrating.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're like, no, I believe in it. I'm going to carry on because I committed to it.
Yes.
So I don't think people see a lot of that.
No, absolutely. I get that. I get that. Okay. So most of the time, the question that we ask, I do ask my guests on the show is choosing yourself. When life is taking you in 1,000 different directions, I mean, you're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, you're a wife, you do the animal charity thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's going on in your life and it's in every different directions. But there should be something that sort of grounds you, something that you do to yourself, do for yourself, that grounds you. I mean, I know we met by, at the gym.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to remember, I used to lift crazy
Yeah.
weights. I remember that. But we've come a long way from there. For me, running is what grounds me. But is there something that you do that actually grounds you, just for you? Something that you do, if it could be 5 minutes, could be 1 hour. But
Yeah, I think like going to the gym as well. And I don't need to be lifting those heavy weights. But I mean, honestly, we don't need to be. We all know that. But it's like I just feel a sense of accomplishment doing it. And having that community in the gym, women are just pushing each other to be the best versions of themselves. And I think that is, it's nice. It grounds me. It makes me feel like I did something for my body.
Yeah.
And also mentally with anxiety
Absolutely.
and depression and anyone who's going through any of that. I feel like that really helps your mind. You feel good inside after it. And so that what really got me through parts of it when I was like low. And, being with, obviously, my son always helps because he has no idea of what's going on. He's just a baby. So you just look at him like, I wish I was a baby too. I don't want to
Life would have been great if
I know, just
all
stay a
we did was
baby.
sleep and eat.
I know, I love it. I love his life. And then being with my dog, I think that really helps as well because he's crazy, but it's cute. So I have a zoo at home, I say, because there's a parrot screaming, a dog barking, there's a baby, so it's very noisy. So I'm like, it's nice to have all of that stuff.
Yeah, to have to
around
be
you.
somewhere and just let it.
Yeah. And walking, I think, is super nice. I think that really helps, especially now that the weather's good.
Yeah.
So
I wait for this weather for
Right.
just to running outside has never been better when weather's better. Like
I mean, you're like you're a major runner. Like I hate running.
I'm training for something, which is why I'm running. Actually, I was telling a friend of mine today that I've reached a point where I just want it to be over because I've been running so much now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get this over with because it is.
When is it? It's soon.
It's Feb. It's in 2
my
months,
God.
actually. Today is the 14th.
Yes.
It's actually exactly 2 months from now.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
To be
Okay,
running
I'm
on
saying it, I
Valentine's
just
Day.
realized, yes, I am doing it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I
I'm
love it.
running in the middle of an island in New Zealand on Valentine's Day. That's
Oh
so
my
exciting.
God. That is super exciting. But it's close.
It is very close.
Do you feel ready?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, because I'm excited. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I mean, I wouldn't say no, but I'm also really nervous because I've never done something like this before, which is what makes it exciting at the same time nerve-wracking. It's like,
But like someone posted a stat, someone we know, and it was on Instagram. It was like less than 1% or 0.01% people even do a marathon, like let alone like
Yes.
an ultra marathon.
yeah,
Right?
that is very true.
So I mean, you're the
I'm
top
the 0.01% of the crazy person who's
entire
doing this.
world. Well, not crazy. I think it's like it's an accomplishment. So even
I mean,
training for it.
definitely, yeah, I have been training for it, but I'm excited, but I'm also ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
Jade and Evelyn listening to this, they'll be like, yes,
Jaden will be like, thank you.
Thank you.
Props to Jaden and Bill.
Yes.
I just saw them yesterday.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh, yeah. I
ran
mean,
into
I
them.
think they're coming in today as well. but I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
see
yeah,
them. Okay, so one question that I ask everyone is, the people listening to you right now, especially women, if there's something that you would want them to take away from your journey, your story, what would that be?
Yeah, that would definitely be that, we're women. Let's say we have 2 good weeks out of the month, okay, where you feel like yourself. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, okay.
You feel like a human.
Yes.
The other weeks, I don't know, bloated, your mind's not right. So, the fact that we can actually give birth to humans, and God has put on this planet for, all that purpose, and He's designed us in a different way than men, and we are run by our hormones, and I accept it, and I think just accepting that you're different from men, you don't have to be in the same category, the same competition, the same fight as men trying to be. Oh, but I have no emotions. I am robotic. I'm acting crazy, or these words that we use. Like, don't go according to that. Just be feminine, be a woman. You're put on
Feel
this.
what you're
Feel
feeling.
what you're feeling. Don't be going according to what people tell you what to feel. Like, hey, that thought doesn't make sense. You should be standardized to this. This should be sanitized to this, conform to this. I think a lot of us listen to everyone else around us being like, oh, but everyone told me this, and then, but why am I not thinking that? There must be something wrong with me. And that's how I felt. But I think just accepting that this is a part of, your hormones, your life, you're a woman, you'll feel emotions, and maybe they're not the right things that you're feeling, but you can do two things at once. You can be grateful for your life. You can thank God for everything you have. At the same time, you can have those thoughts and be like, okay, well, this is crap, and I don't want to deal with this right now. So you can do two things at once, and two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
And you don't have to conform. And if you feel like you have to conform around those 10 people around you, change those 10 people around you. Find people that are more aligned to your thoughts and ideas. And
I agree.
even that one person, vent to them, and you will see there'll be more people that are thinking like you.
Okay.
So yeah, just don't conform, maybe. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do the last question in a very different way.
Okay.
With a little bit, keep it light.
Okay.
A little bit of a rapid fire round. So you need to answer the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay. So what is that one scent, now because of your brand and everything? So what's that one scent that immediately calms you?
Sandalwood.
Ooh.
I have to say that because my grandparents, like, they would keep, I think they would use sandalwood a lot. So just, I don't know, my childhood memory.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sandalwood. For me, it's lavender.
I love that too.
Immediately. Yeah.
You just go to sleep with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. What is that a wellness ritual that you swear by?
There are a few I swear by. Okay, sunscreen.
Okay.
And moisturizer, but sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Because, UAE, sun everywhere. I've been manic about it.
Yeah.
And I just lather that on because I'm like, okay, we don't need the Botox and fillers right now. Maybe we just put sunscreen on and protect ourselves.
Interesting.
So yeah,
okay,
sunscreen for sure.
Introvert or an extrovert?
Definitely an extrovert.
Okay.
I mean, I had a C-section and I was like, I need to go out. I need to meet people. There's something wrong with it. Definitely an extrovert, not great, but yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think I would be an ambivert because in the beginning I'm an introvert. I don't really talk to people. But when someone does get to talk to me, and when I get to know them, they're like, oh my God, Anu, do you ever stop? So so I think I'm a seasonal. It depends. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
I could be introverted or extroverted. But if I'm in a room where I don't know anyone, I'm on the wall. I'm a wallflower.
Yeah, at the gym, I didn't think you were that extroverted.
No.
But then once we got to know you, then you opened
exactly.
up. Yeah.
That's pretty much. Okay, so what's on your playlist right now? What song that first comes to your mind?
It's Mariah Carey's Christmas stuff.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's the season.
Yeah, it was listening to her music and then just goes into Christmas because this is her season. The whole month is Mariah Carey.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, also 50 Cent and all of that. Yeah. But I do like right now it's just Christmas, so it's nice. It's like festive.
Nice.
And I love her music, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
She's really talented.
And she's.
I don't think we're going to get another Mariah.
No, definitely not.
No. Maybe Ariana Grande is like a bit closer.
But sort of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's true.
she's
But
phenomenal.
Yeah, Mariah Carey is just one. Okay, the last question is what I normally ask everyone. Why not you?
It will always be me, authentically me. So, yes. So
That's
yeah.
nice. I love that. And maybe I'm going to use that as a quote for you.
You should. For
It should
yourself.
be a title of your book.
Yeah, maybe. Or chaos. I don't know. Whichever one. Chaos and craziness. Either one.
Oh my God. Okay.
But yeah.
Honestly, this conversation, I absolutely loved it. I mean, it's not easy to admit or to accept the fact that we're still figuring things out. As we age, we think we need to mature. I mean, of course, we do need to mature, but we think that we need to have it all figured out. We need to know what we're doing career-wise, professionally, personally. But it takes a lot of courage to say that I'm still figuring it out. And that's okay. A lot of people are still rebuilding or restarting or trying to find ways into just breathe through a chaotic scenario. But they don't want to admit it. They don't want to say it out loud. So thank you for coming on here and speaking your mind, speaking your heart, and admitting that you're still figuring things out and things are you're still juggling. And that takes a lot of courage. So thank you for choosing me to speak to about that.
Thank you for having me on here. Honestly, you're so easy to talk to. Yeah, you make
I'm glad
it
to
very
hear
easy.
that.
Yeah, very easy to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed talking to you as well. And I'm sure everyone listening would be inspired by that to actually speak out loud. It doesn't have to be at the podcast, but it can be to a friend that they actually say what they feel like. And hopefully people who are listening to this would actually start doing that. Maybe pick up the phone and call their mom or their dad or their friend and say, you know what, I'm not okay today.
Yeah.
And I'm irritated. I'm not grateful for the life that I'm having right now. But that's okay. And and I hope you inspire people to do that.
Yeah, I hope so. I would say surround yourself with good girlfriends that are like-minded, that will, you'll have them for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
You definitely need them. Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Thank
And to everyone listening, I hope you've enjoyed listening to Aradhna's story and her journey as much as I enjoyed talking to her about it. And I hope to see you in the next episode of Why Me, Why Not Me?